You're watching the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14.
Right now at 7, the Recovery Outreach Community Center hosts an event to help encourage substance abuse reduction.
Also, thanks to the much-needed rain, areas in the 4 states saw some dangerous flooding.
And we're going to be staying dry for the next several days as we've got some fall-like weather before the heat returns. We'll talk about that in the forecast coming up.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. I'm Caitlin O'Shaughnessy.
I'm Chris Warner at 7 o'clock now on this Tuesday morning across the area. Very fall-like start out there. It's almost chilly. In all honesty, considering that it's August, you wouldn't know it was August right now.
Night and day. I mean, the weather here changes quicker than I can even keep track of.
That's one thing, Caitlin, you'll learn is what they say about the 4 states is if you don't like the weather, just wait 5 minutes. It'll change for you.
I'm seeing that.
It can be just about anything you want in any amount of time that you want as well. So we'll have more on that forecast and just how long the fall-like weather lasts. And we got a very great story to tell you right now.
Yeah, topping off, yesterday the Recovery Outreach Community Center hosted an event to encourage substance abuse reduction.
Elise Noe has the story.
The Rock in Joplin hosted a listening session and discussion about meth reduction and recovery.
We have some funding to be able to do various events and activities within Jasper County focused on meth reduction and social connection.
The event was put on by the Community Partnership of the Ozarks. The listening session is part of a 5-year grant to reduce meth use for ages 19 to 29 in Jasper County.
So the meth use in Jasper County was identified for this age group based on folks entering treatment with that as their drug of choice.
The Community Partnership of the Ozarks has found challenges getting young adults involved.
What we really want to do is create what's called social bonding, which is a protective factor that can help people avoid risk decisions like substance use.
The goal for today was to hear from community members ages 19 to 29 about activities and social gatherings that could help reduce the use of meth.
We have a lot of dreams and goals, but really ultimately what we want to do is hear from community members, hear what they would want and what would work best for them.
Reporting in Joplin, Elise Noe, KOAM News.
The Rock is open Monday through Friday from 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m.
For more information on how to get involved with the Community Partnership of the Ozarks, you can check this story out on our website at KOAMnewsnow.com. So certainly something that I need to get involved in and try and take care of this problem. Absolutely. Jinx.
Get out of my head.
Get out of my head. Now we're getting used to working with each other. So that's what's going to happen more often. Well, we also have an absolutely gorgeous day today, and unfortunately, it's not going to last forever. So this is the live look at the MoDOT camera at US 60, Missouri 59, south side of Neosho. Now looking back to the west, because just before the show started, the fine folks at MoDOT turned it back to the west for us, looking right down Highway 60. And we've got a great start out there. MoDOT camera 20th and range line looking wonderful as well. And while we go ahead and cross state lines and take a look at the KDOT camera at 69 and East 5 20th Avenue, also an absolutely gorgeous start to the day. And from our camera at 7th and range line, and look at this temperature in Joplin right now. It is 61 degrees. It is August and it is 61 degrees out there. And you think that's cool? It's pretty chilly across the rest of the area. Look at this, 57 Neodesha Parsons. We have 58 Yates Center and Iola, 59 Sedan and Independence. And we got 60 Fort Scott Lamar, 61 Pittsburgh Carthage Lamar, or Miami. And so, I mean, it is just a little bit on the chilly side. And we're going to have a pretty pleasant day. Sunny skies into the upper 60s by late morning in our highs today, pushing mid to upper 70s for most of us, although a couple of low 80-degree readings possible, but we're still upwards of 10-some-odd degrees below average for this time of year. And as we head into the evening, it's going to be another cool one again, dropping back into the mid to upper 50s and maybe a couple of lower 60s out there, but otherwise, very pleasant conditions. Now, unfortunately, it's still August and it is still summertime and the heat's going to return. Now, we're still below average Wednesday into the low to mid 80s, and then we're a little above average on Thursday as we go low 90s, and then after that, look at that. Closing out the week, heading into the weekend, temperatures return back to the upper 90s, near 100. So enjoy this weather while you can, because it's not going to last. Caitlin?
Right. Well, the Sunday night storms have brought some much needed rain to the area, but it's also causing some high water issues. This is drone video of Elk River in McDonald County, Missouri. The high water there and other area waterways caused some canoe rental businesses to cancel floating. And it's much worse in southeastern Missouri's Bollinger County, where residents are dealing with flooding from the storms. The National Weather Service says up to 6 feet of water is flowing in some areas in Glen Allen, where the sheriff's office conducted rescue operations. Crews worked to get residents impacted by flooding to safety and higher ground. State troopers had 5 rescue boats out with them as they went door to door as needed. No injuries, though, have been reported. And a Joplin man is dead following a vehicle pedestrian crash. The accident happened about 1:35 Sunday afternoon near I-44 and Main Street in Joplin. Authorities say the pedestrian, Corey Fitzjohn of Joplin, was trying to cross I-44 when he was struck by a pickup truck. Fitzjohn died at the scene. Missouri's Division of Cannabis Regulation announces a product recall. The DCR issues the recall for infused product manufacturer Delta Extraction. The agency says the recalled products were not compliantly tracked in the statewide track and trace system to allow the DCR to verify that the products came from marijuana grown in Missouri or that the product passed required testing prior to being sold at dispensaries. No adverse reactions for this product have been reported at this time. And coming up, Jasmine Kyle with the SEK Humane Society stops by to reveal something rather, well, big.
And later, new research is being done into extending the life of man's best friend. You're watching the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. Be back after this. But first, here's another live look from the Interstate Fair in Coffeyville.
In Health Watch this morning, a new study says yoga and certain exercises can help improve asthma symptoms. Researchers looked at how 5 types of exercise affected more than 2,100 adults with asthma. Typically, exercise has been found to make asthma worse and trigger attacks, but researchers found that breathing training combined with aerobic training and yoga helped improve lung function in participants. Researchers say this discovery could help doctors come up with better treatment for patients to manage their asthma. And a nurse is on a mission to save lives. It comes after she collapsed at work because of an issue with her heart. Now fully recovered, she's on a mission to educate women about heart disease. Anita Roman has more.
Heart disease is the #1 killer of women in the United States. 1 woman dies every 80 seconds. Several years ago, Mia Chorney was almost a statistic.
I was actually working that day, and I remember being what was called room 2. And I was within room 2, had gone in to check on some staff. And the last thing I remember is walking out of the room. I went past the bed. And from what the staff tells me, as I was out in the hallway having a few short words, and then I immediately just fell straight back and hit the floor.
Trudy was 32, managing an emergency room when she went down. It turns out it was her heart.
What happened then is I got discharged home a couple days later, and then I started feeling very unwell. I started losing a lot of weight. I was very short of breath. I could not even have a shower. My heart would start racing. I'd start feeling unwell.
Chorney was diagnosed with a heart arrhythmia. After recovering, she went back to work, and by 50, she was burned out, decided to transform her life. She's now a certified elite trainer. Her goal is to motivate women to learn about heart health and how to take better care of themselves. As a nurse practitioner at Honor Health Medical Group, she is part of the Women's Heart Health Group.
At the Women's Heart Center, we've started group medical visits for an exercise prescription for women. And this is an amazing opportunity where we, instead of getting someone who provides health care for 20 minutes or 15 minutes, you're getting the opportunity to come to a visit for 2 hours. And during those 2 hours, I talk about heart health education, I talk about high blood pressure, I talk about the signs and symptoms of heart disease, and then every patient who comes to it leaves with a personalized exercise prescription that is dedicated to them.
As a survivor, Chorney says her biggest advice is to pay attention to symptoms. Ask your doctors to perform all the proper tests and stay as healthy and active as possible.
Oh, we've got ourselves a relatively pleasant fall-like day out there. Taking a look outside from 7th and Rangeline, we got the sunshine, we've got clear skies and cool. 61 in Joplin. Temperatures around the region also quite cool. Look at some of these. 57 Neodesha Parsons, 59 Sedan Independence, 58 Yates Center, Iola, 59 in Nevada. So a very cool start for us out there, and we'll eventually make it into the mid to upper 60s by late morning with those sunny skies. And as we head into the afternoon, an absolutely beautiful fall-like day across the area for us as we go mid to upper 70s out there, maybe a couple of lower 80s, but that still puts us well below our average, right around the 90-degree mark out there. Then as we head into the evening, the clear skies continue, looking great out there as well. 65 by 10, overnight lows mid to upper 50s across the area, and then again a couple of lower 60-degree readings possible. Now tomorrow we're a little bit warmer, but we're still below average as we go low to mid 80s and sunny skies. Seeing a few more clouds as we head through the rest of this week. Unfortunately, the heat returns. Now by Thursday, we're just a little above normal. And then by Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, temperatures soar. We're talking mid to upper 90s out there, near 100 degrees. And that heat continues as we go into the next work week as well. Upper 90s, near 100, with maybe some pop-up storms by next Thursday. That's a quick check of your forecast. We'll be back with more of the KOAM Morning News right after this, but first, we got ourselves a live look from the Interstate Fair in Coffeyville.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. Joining us in studio today is Jasmine Kyle, the director of the SEK Humane Society. She's here to make a big reveal. Welcome to the show. So tell us, what's the news?
We have a very big dog. So let me go a little bit more into detail. So last fall, we worked with Pittsburgh Animal Control and another household owner into catching a very large stray dog. Her name is Wolfie, and as you will see in the video, she is a wolf hybrid. So she is over my hip. She is a giant dog. When we first saw her, she was covered in mud and dirt, and when you looked at her, you immediately thought wolf. So we went off immediately to get DNA testing done on her, and sure enough, she is 23% gray wolf. And other than that, she is Alaskan Malamute. Now, the sad thing, we really wanted her to go into a hybrid sanctuary where she could develop into a pack. To be transferred to those sanctuaries, got to be 25. So she missed the mark by 2%. So at that point, with her being so skittish, because again, at that point, it took us months to catch her, we wanted to do what was best for her, and our team saw lots of hope within her, so we just started to train her behaviorally. So as of today, she is officially available. We are accepting applications for her. She is now doing great on a leash. She's looking for a home with no other animals, but unlike our usual process, it is not a first come, first serve.
All right, so this is a little bit more training because it is a wolf, so there's a lot more that goes into it. It's not your typical puppy dog.
Exactly. So she is extremely intelligent. She is going to learn how to open those door latches. She is going to watch you. So if she gets scared, it's not, when dogs get scared, it's usually a fight or a flight. She is 100% flight. She's going to be a runner.
She's not a fighter, so she is a safe breed then to have.
She's been very humane with our staff members. We've not had a single bite with her, but when she's scared, she's going to run. So that is something that is going to require multiple visitations with a particular adopter. We're going to require you to come on site so you can meet her, so she can get to know you. And then at that point, we're going to really encourage foster to adopt. We'll provide everything you need, but that way she gets adjusted to your household too.
And where can people go to register or sign up for this opportunity?
Yeah, so you can actually head on to our website, which is the SEKHumaneSociety.com. You can actually see her right now online as available. You can also come in during our open hours. We're open noon to 4 most days except for Tuesdays and Wednesdays, which were closed for deep cleanings. But it's going to be a very cool experience. We're so proud of her. It came from a dog that was terrified, running for months, scared for her life, to now this beautiful girl that has developed and loves kisses and treats and gets to walk on leashes comfortably. We're so proud of her.
Excellent. Well, if you want to be the proud owner of a husky dog or a wolf dog, make sure you check out the SEK Humane Society. We'll be right back after this.
Well, scientists in North Carolina want man's best friend to be around a lot longer. They're leading new research to delay the aging process in dogs.
As Brett Nees reports, it appears to already be showing signs of success.
Evan Blount has had his pug for 9 years and can't imagine life without him.
Well, he's with me all the time. I've often referred to him as my shadow. He sleeps with me in the bed. He's just, if I move out of the room, he's in the next room with me.
Unfortunately, no dog lives forever. But Dr. Natasha Olby at NC State is on a mission to give dog lovers a little more time with their best friends.
When I see the ravages of aging in the clinic every day as a veterinarian, and how we tend to shy away from the very complicated cases that have multiple problems, of course that becomes more intriguing to me.
Her research began in 2018, and it's now in the late stages of their first clinical trial. Olby is looking at whether or not certain supplements can slow the aging process. The goal is to keep a dog's mind sharp and maintain its senses and mobility.
We know that we can quantify many of these changes very safely. We didn't want to cause any harm, but in addition that dogs actually really enjoy it, so it's quite positive for them.
70 dogs are in this study. One group received the supplement while the other received a placebo. It wraps up in December.
It's pretty terrifying, particularly if you see a big effect. You're always like, oh, is that going to be the placebo, or is it going to be what we're testing? But it's very exciting, and it's what all the owners want to know as well.
While this research won't make our dogs live forever, it could give us more quality time. And for owners like Blount, well, that's priceless.
Not only is it probably good for the dogs, it's probably good for humans as well. But, you know, if we can have these guys a little longer, it's excellent.
As mentioned, Dr. Olby and the team plan to review their study results at some point following December.
Well, who doesn't want their dog to live forever?
That's
I mean,
very
right?
true. I mean, you got to have man's best friend around as long as you can.
As long as you can.
It's interesting that they're looking at extending the lives of our pets now.
I'll stay tuned for those results.
I certainly will as well.
All right, well, coming up, it's back to school time, which means Victory Life puts on an annual back to school event.
And we've got very fall-like weather out there across the 4 states and a very fall-like day. Unfortunately, this doesn't last forever. We'll have another look at that forecast when we come back.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. The time now is 7:27 a.m. Back to school time means vaccination time for many area students. And the Joplin Health Department's community health nurses will offer vaccinations at the Joplin Schools open house this Thursday. Nurses will provide immunizations for both high school and middle school students during this event, which runs from 4:30 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. The Joplin Health Department offers immunization for children living in Joplin or who are enrolled in private or public schools. And Jefferson's Restaurants in Joplin comes up with a tasty way to thank school employees. From yesterday through Sundays, school staff can head out to Jefferson's for a free dine-in meal of their choice of free hamburger, wings, salad, or handheld entree. The offer is inclusive of all Joplin area public and private school employees. School employees must present a valid school ID badge to receive the offer. And the 18th annual Back to School Bash by Victory Life Church was held in Pittsburgh at Lincoln Park. The community event offered back to school resources such as free haircuts, school supplies, and more. There were fun activities including free swim and kiddie rides. And this is the first year that Victory Life Church partnered with 4 other local churches to put on this community event.
I want to give a shout out to them, the Family Life Assembly of God, Pitt Naz, Countryside Christian Church, and Trinity Baptist. They will all come together and put all our resources together to really make this a great community event.
Yeah, Flag Church, we are providing the free swim as well as all the inflatables in the park. And so this is our way of contributing to this great event that the community is putting together.
This year, the event was restricted to just elementary school students.
Well, we've got fall-like weather out there. Very cool start for us this morning, and it is going to stay decent throughout our day. Sunny skies. We're talking upper 60s by late morning as we head into the afternoon. Highs mid to upper 70s, a few passing clouds, and maybe a couple of lower 80-degree readings out there, but still well below normal for this time of year. And we stay that way heading into the evening. Clear skies, mid 60s by 10. Overnight lows mid to upper 50s under clear skies. And again, maybe a lower 60-degree reading or two out there. And as we look ahead, we stay below average, but a bit warmer as we head into Wednesday. We're talking low to mid 80s. And then after that, we go just a pinch above average on Thursday. We go in low 90s, and that is ahead of this. The reminder that it is August, that it is summertime, and we're not done with the heat yet as we soar back into the mid to upper 90s, closing in on the 100-degree mark as we head into the weekend and next week. And we stay hot and dry as we go through the beginning of the next work week with maybe a pop-up storm or two by next Thursday. But otherwise, look at that. Just that far off of triple-digit temperatures out there next week. Caitlin?
Chris, well, a new addition to Silver Dollar City lights a fire of interest under an old attraction. The new fire in the hole will get a brand new home in what officials are calling the Fire District. The new fire in the hole replaces the iconic ride after more than 50 years. The indoor coaster features 5 drops, including a splashdown, and 14 show scenes, including a custom soundtrack. Even the park's president had to express his excitement.
This is a really exciting thing for Branson and Silver Dollar City. You know, Fire in the Hole has been a long-time favorite attraction, and to see an updated version of Fire in the Hole, I think is going to bring a whole lot of folks to the area.
This $30 million investment will reside in a 5-story building directly behind Fireman's Landing. Officials expect the attraction to be ready by spring 2024. And recent rain could lead to unwanted guests like mustard algae in backyard and public swimming pools. Area pool supply companies have been busy selling chlorine, shock treatment, and algicides all summer, with that demand expected to continue. Experts say those 3 steps are the best way to get rid of mustard algae already in your pool. After that, proper maintenance is key to keeping them away.
Backwash, brush, and vacuum, and do that, weekly, if not every other day. Make sure you're staying on top of that. Make sure you're getting the corners really well. A lot of times with the pools, the way the water flows, the corners get, pretty much unfiltered sometimes.
Checking the chemical balance every week and keeping circulating pumps running also helps keep future algae blooms away. Well, that's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. Charlene Patton joins us from Topeka and shows us how to make a delicious and healthy Fiesta Veggie skillet.
Plus, as we mentioned, we've got a nice fall-like start out there. Unfortunately, it does not last. We'll have another look at your forecast coming up. But first, here's another live look from the Interstate Fair in Coffeyville. Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. Our good friend Charlene Patton coming down all the way from Topeka. And we're continuing our theme of being in the garden. We're talking about good, healthy eating here.
That's right. And we have all the produce, and so I thought, gosh, it's a great way to combine our soy ingredients with those things that we have from our garden or the farmer's market, but we want to enjoy them while we have it.
Absolutely.
And a lot of times we're looking for new ways to use vegetables, so I think this is going to be a one that you'll really enjoy.
It looks good so far. It's like the other one last week. It looked great before it was even made.
Well, I've already browned or cooked 4 strips of bacon and took those out, and I've left a tablespoon of the bacon drippings in here. I'm going to turn that down just a little bit there. And now you're going to add our corn. You can use fresh corn from your garden. You can, in the winter, great, listen to that sizzle.
I love that sound.
In the winter, you could still do this with frozen corn. Now you're going to add our soy ingredient, and that's our edamame. Add that. This is going to be so colorful. Then we have red onion that we're going to add to that. Great.
More of those onions in there.
Yes, and then to add just a little bit more color, I've added orange bell pepper, but you could use the green ones too if you have green peppers this time of year. And then a little bit of minced garlic there. We'll add that in.
There we go.
Look how nice, I'll hold that up, how
It's
nice
very
and colorful
bright
that
and
is.
colorful too. I love that.
This just takes a few minutes. You just want to saute it to cook these vegetables. And then I'm going to let you add this. This is fresh lime juice. And then I have a little bit of lime zest there. It's going to give that such a wonderful flavor, and a little bit of cumin there. We'll cook that there. And then right before you serve it, I'll let you add the cherry tomatoes.
Okay, so we want to add these right now. Okay. All right.
We'll go ahead and add them. Now look how pretty that is.
That is so color, and it's bright colors too.
It
reminds
is.
you of summertime.
And then there's a little bit of cilantro, and then we'll put our bacon back in that we cooked ahead of time. And look how pretty that is.
It's really good, too.
It is a wonderful vegetable side dish for your family. And, you know, this is even good cold, but I just love those colors. We'll hold that up so everybody can see how pretty that is. And it's ready to serve.
See, quick and eat. That only took a couple of minutes to get all that together.
It did.
So if folks want more information, where can they go?
They should go to our website at kansassoybeans.org, or they can also call our 800 number this morning, 877-KS-SOYBEAN, and we'll send them all the recipes for August.
Now, you certainly do not want to miss out on these recipes. And, of course, if you missed this one, don't worry. You'll find it on our website, KOAMnewsnow.com. We'll be back with more right after this. Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. 7:39 coming up on 7:40 on this Tuesday morning. Live look at the MoDOT camera at US 60, Missouri 59 on the south side of Neosho, looking back toward the east. And we are looking fantastic this morning. Same from the MoDOT camera at 20th and Rangeline in Joplin, looking back toward the south. We got sunshine out there, clear skies. Look at all this sunshine too on the KDOT camera at 69 and East 520th Avenue. This one, of course, just south of Pittsburgh. And our camera right at 7th and Rangeline, looking back slightly to the northwest. Clear skies out there as well. Not a cloud out there. And we're still a little on the cool side, sitting at 61 in Joplin right now. The calm breeze. And around the area, look at some of these temperatures. 57 Neodesha Parsons, 59 in Iola, 63 in Pittsburgh, Miami, Chatopa, 61 Neosho Carthage, and 62 Lamar and Nevada. So a nice, cool, crisp start to our Tuesday. But don't let it fool you. It's still August. It's still summertime. We'll have sunny skies as we go through the morning, reaching upper 60s by late morning. It does feel like a September or October forecast, doesn't it? Mid to upper 70s today. A few passing clouds here and there. Otherwise, a great day. I will stay with clear skies heading into the evening. Look at this, 70 by 8, 65 by 10. And we're going back into the mid to upper 50s, maybe a couple of lower 60s out there as we head overnight. However, as I mentioned, it's still August. It's still summer. And it's right around the corner again. That cold front from Sunday just giving us a brief break. Still below average tomorrow, but a bit warmer. We go low to mid 80s. Then we're a pinch above normal by Thursday, low 90s. And then we really start to heat up as we head toward the end of the week. Temperatures climbing in the mid to upper 90s. And unfortunately, we're going to be pushing the triple digits by this weekend and next week. So enjoy today and tomorrow because, again, it doesn't last long. And the next thing you know, summer is right back in our face again. Let's check your forecast. Now we're going to send it over to Caitlin for a check of Consumer Watch.
Thanks, Chris. Well, in Consumer Watch this morning, a Bank of America report indicates President Joe Biden's $750 billion climate and health care law is expected to create 86,000 jobs. Called the Inflation Reduction Act, the law provides tax incentives to bring down the cost of electricity with renewables. It has also helped fund 270 new clean energy projects and bring in an additional $132 billion worth of private investments. About half the private investment has gone to electric vehicle and battery production. The rest has gone to solar, wind, and nuclear projects. Several White House officials are traveling around touting the success of the law. And a new report shows Americans are getting more pessimistic about the economy. The University of Michigan's measure of consumer sentiments is down 0.4% between this month and last month. That's despite an upswing this summer until this point. Inflation and consumer confidence tend to go together, and gas prices have risen in recent weeks. July's consumer price index is up 0.2% compared to June. Starbucks launched its latest reusable cup test in California on Monday. The coffee giant is doing the test at 12 Starbucks stores in Napa and Petaluma through October 22nd. Customers can bring their own personal cup into the cafe or drive-thru or use the company's borrow a cup option. They can also choose for Hereware, a reusable ceramic or glass cup for customers who opt to stay in the cafe. Patrons who bring in their own clean cup will get the standard 10-cent discount, and Starbucks Reward members will also get 25 bonus stars. Starbucks is conducting the test in partnership with Turn Systems, using the company's collection bins to analyze cup return behavior. Romance scams remain a popular way for criminals to exploit unsuspecting victims. Christine Lazar talked to a reformed scam artist to find out how these scams even happen.
Nicole Hayden is a single mom who was working long days as a nurse in 2021 when she got a private message on social media.
And I opened it up and he just started talking, saying hi, asking me, where I lived, what I did, basic, normal conversation.
The conversation took off and Nicole was smitten until her new online beau eventually demanded money and threatened to blackmail her if she didn't pay up. That's when Nicole realized it was all a scam.
You feel really disappointed.
The Federal Trade Commission says Americans lost $1.3 billion in romance scams in 2022 alone. To find out how these cons worked, I talked to a former scam artist from Nigeria who asked us not to reveal his name.
What would you tell these women? How did you get them to give you money?
I make them fall in love, I make them laugh, I do things they like.
He created fake social media profiles using the pictures and details of other men, including American soldiers. His main targets were middle-aged, divorced women. Once they trusted him, he would make up a pretend crisis and ask for money. But he eventually changed his ways after a major payday.
She gave me over $20,000, and at some point she became sick, she became depressed. I felt this kind of guilty conscience,
He stopped scamming and now works for the other side and a website called Social Catfish. For a fee, the company uses reverse search technology to help online daters investigate a potential suitor if fraud is suspected.
He also says the best way to protect yourself is to never engage with someone who won't video chat or meet in person. And if anyone asks you for money online, chances are their intentions are not sincere. Christine Lazar, CBS News, Los Angeles.
We'll be right back with more after this, but first, let's take a look at the market prices before the opening bell. From wedding dresses to burial grounds, one Wisconsin hospital is reusing people's old wedding dresses as burial grounds.
Grace Haddock has the story.
A wedding dress once worn by Beth Pankey will now be worn by someone else.
A wedding dress has a lot of meaning for a person, and then for me, it even meant more to be able to help somebody else.
A program at St. Mary's Hospital takes donated dresses and turns them into infant burial gowns. When Pankey found out about it, her decision was simple. She knew she had to donate her wedding dress.
The interesting thing is I had a situation where I had to deliver a stillborn. So I took the dress and I put it in my trunk, and here we are.
That experience has never left her. But now, just like her dress, it's stitching a new meaning.
Of course, it's in the back of my mind, but I do understand what people that are going through it right now are going through.
Volunteers tell me many donors have similar experiences.
They will oftentimes share their story about a loss that they had as a child or a relative, and so it's very meaningful for them to be able to give back to those who have had the same type of experience.
And for the receiving families, it brings a comforting memory of their own loss.
So much appreciated by our patients' families who receive these gowns. It's a nice, momentum for them to keep, to remind them of their infant.
There are a lot of people out there that have gone through the same thing, and time is the only thing that'll heal it.
Because by helping others, Pankey says she's helping herself too.
Certainly a very worthy cause.
Yes.
Well, we've got very fall-like weather across the area. Taking a look at the MoDOT camera at US 60 and Missouri 59 in Neosho. It's on the south side there. You can see those clear skies. The only thing that it looks like it's in the sky, but isn't, is that street light. But it is clear otherwise. Same from the MoDOT camera at 20th and Rangeline in Joplin. Not a cloud out there, and we can't really see the sky so much from the KDOT camera at 69 East 520th, but I think that plentiful sunshine tells you we got clear skies, and we definitely have clear skies from our camera at 7th and Rangeline. A beautiful start. 61 degrees out there, very fall-like, and it's even cooler. Points to our west. We got 57 Neodesha Parsons, 59 in Iola, and then we've got low 60s across the rest of the area. 61 Carthage, Monette, Neosho, 63 Pittsburgh, Chatopa, Miami, and 60 Yates Center, Chanute, Independence, and Sedan, as well as Nowata. So a very cool start out there. As we get the morning started, again, we're going to have those sunny skies across the area. We're going to go into the upper 60s by late morning, and then we head into the afternoon. A beautiful day out there. It is very fall-like. We got maybe a few passing clouds. Otherwise, highs today, mid to upper 70s, maybe a couple of lower 80-degree readings out there. And then as we head into the evening hours, just as gorgeous. Clear skies, 70 by 8, 65 by 10. Overnight lows mid to upper 50s. Mid to upper 50s, even though it is August. And there may be a low 60-degree reading or two out there as well. And as we look ahead, we've got another below average day for us tomorrow, low to mid 80s. Then we get a little above average Thursday, back in the low 90s, and that is ahead of a slap to the face from Mother Nature saying, hold up. It's still summertime, and here it comes. We go back mid to upper 90s, closing in on the 100-degree mark as we head into the weekend and next week. That's a quick check of your forecast. We're back with the news you need to know right after this.
Here's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door. The Sunday night storms have brought some much-needed rain to the area, but it's also causing some high water issues. This is drone video of Elk River in McDonald County, Missouri. The high water there and other area waterways caused some canoe rental businesses to cancel floating. It's even much worse in southeastern Missouri's Bollinger County, where residents are dealing with flooding from the storms. The National Weather Service says up to 6 feet of water is flowing in some areas in Glen Allen, where the sheriff's office conducted rescue operations. Crews worked to get residents impacted by flooding to safety and higher ground. Safety Trooper had 5 rescue boats out with team members going door to door as needed. No injuries have been reported. And Missouri's Division of Cannabis Regulation announces a product recall. The DCR issues the recall for infused product manufacturer Delta Extraction. The agency says the recalled products were not compliantly tracked in the statewide track and trace system to allow the DCR to verify that the products came from marijuana grown in Missouri or that the product passed required testing prior to being sold at dispensaries. No adverse reactions for this product have been reported at this time. And back to school time means vaccination time for many area students, and the Joplin Health Department's community health nurses will offer vaccinations at the Joplin Schools Open House this Thursday. Nurses will provide immunizations for both high school and middle school students during the event that runs from 4:30 to 6:30 p.m. And the Joplin Health Department will be offering immunization for children who live in Joplin or who are enrolled in public or private school.
Well, we've got ourselves a very fall-like day across the area. A cool start, and we will stay that way. We're going to go into the upper 60s by late morning with sunny skies across the region. And as we head into the afternoon, it's a great one out there. We're going mid to upper 70s, maybe a couple of lower 80-degree readings, but still well below average for this time of year. Maybe a couple of passing clouds out there as well. Then by this evening, we have clear skies once again, 70 by 8, 65 by 10. We're looking at overnight lows tonight, mid to upper 50s. And I have to remind you, it is still August, it is still summertime, and the reason I have to remind you of that is because of the 7-day forecast. Let's take a look ahead. We're still going to be below average as we head into our Wednesday, so we're talking low to mid 80s out there. Then we'll go a pinch above average Thursday, back in the low 90s, and that is ahead of summertime, making a rather brave return across the 4 states. Temperatures surge back into the mid to upper 90s, closing in on the 100-degree mark, and we stay hot and dry as we head into the next work week as well. Temperatures still hovering right near 100 degrees, and then we might see a stray pop-up storm or two as we head into our Thursday. But unfortunately, this nice fall-like weather is going to be brief, so enjoy it while it is here. In fact, I think we should just cancel the noon news today, and we can go home, we can go out, and we can enjoy this weather.
I was about to go get myself a pumpkin spice latte.
See, I think, it feels like it, you know, doesn't it?
Call it a fall day.
I think the bosses might be upset if we didn't show back up for the noon news, but
no, we got great things coming up for the news. afternoon
do.
news.
We
so
certainly do.
You guys definitely want to tune in for that one.
Absolutely. Of
A
course,
lot of
Howard and the
exciting
Mr. Food Test Kitchen. There's always something delicious there.
Absolutely,
Well,
absolutely. Yep. So, and checking in with the latest theme park, it's all the rage, Fire in the Hole. So,
lots of cool stuff. Well, thank you
Exactly.
so much for letting us put the good in your morning. We'll be back with more news and weather today at noon.
have a great morning, and we'll see you at noon.